Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to part number 23 of Let's Play Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. Now, in this part, we're going to head over to Lost Fleet, which is an interesting level in both the good and the bad way. Yeah, this is haunted. Okay, it's the haunted level because there's abandoned ships everywhere and crabs, I guess. Ironically enough, the crabs pose more of a threat than the ghosts, but that's no matter. Let's move on, shall we? So this is Haunted Fleet, and again, if you're playing this on your own, I do recommend you come here before you do most other levels in this world, because even though it looks like it's supposed to be like the third level you play or something, well, the ending of last episode shows that you lose Hunter, and there is a Hunter mission here. So if you lose Hunter, well, you're stuck backtracking, which is another reason why this backtracking is taking forever. Because, well, that's going to affect us quite a bit here too, because of course, what's after this? Well, it's the Speedway. Also, you're supposed to use the cannons for this, but, well, who cares? But the Speedway is after this. And the Speedway always has a Hunter level, of course, as well. So we're going to be in for some backtracking. We're going to be in for some serious backtracking in a couple of parts here. Because, well, there's only so much we can do here. And, well, let's get a move on and do what we can regardless, because we need Crazy Ed's help over here to build us a Crazy Ed rocket ship, of course. Also, the birds that are in the sky, well, it's another one of those where you need to blast your way through. But the birds that are in the sky do have gems. As with the last time we had cannons and things blocking the path, it's important to kill the birds because, well, you need to be able to get your gems. There's not like a skill point for doing them or anything like that, but it's just kind of important if you want to be able to actually get gems like that. Anyway, let's move on since we blasted a hole in the side of the ship and figure out exactly what it is we need to do next. And the answer is apparently more Rhinox that are in their underwear, standing on top of each other in sheets, pretending to haunt the place. Because what else would it be in a haunted place, honestly? What else? What else indeed? However, one thing to be aware of real quick here is that what I almost fell into right there, that river, that's acid. So you don't want to jump into it if you can avoid it. Because, well, as you can probably guess by the fact that there's, you know, acid, it's pretty dangerous to Spyro's health. And if you get stuck there, well, it'll kill you pretty quickly. So I pretty much recommend not jumping in it. Well, for the most part. Why? Well, you'll see that in a little bit. Anyway, we're actually on, like, one of the last parts of the level already. Again, these levels stay pretty short, surprisingly. Again, those crabs will get you because they charge at you while you're trying to deal with the other theoretically tougher enemies. So watch the crabs. And yeah, that's what happens if you try to land on the lake. You don't even get to try to swim in it at all. It's just like, nope, you're taking damage right away. Speaking of taking damage right away, let's get that bird. And let's blast a hole in the ship where Crazy Ed is pointing. Lower me, thank you. Let's blast this bird too, and any other birds. I think there's 3 of them in the vicinity. Don't get fooled into thinking that there's only one. Make sure you get them all. I mean, again, if you're doing this in the same order I am, well, you're going to be coming back here anyway. Because there's gems in the Hunter section, of course. But I'm not going to worry about the Hunter section for now because we've got enough challenging minigames ahead of us as it is. Because there's one game, if you ever let the game play long enough to activate the demo, that I, for the life of me, actually didn't know was here. It's in this level. We'll get there. And it looks kind of fun. To be honest with you, it's not. And speaking of things that are not fun, dying is not fun. Luckily for us, there was a checkpoint right there, so we can continue on as if nothing had ever happened except for with my life counter losing 1 value. That's fine, right? I do like how they like run around with their underwear on fire. That is pretty amusing, to be fair. Good enemy design, game. Good enemy design. They do put quite a bit of care sometimes into the enemies. It is usually one thing that the game designers are very, very good at. And hey, look at that. We got an egg that was locked in the chest. That's fine. He didn't even go through the portal. He went like through the portal, but like literally through the portal, like through the top of the portal. I'm just noticing that now. Like he legitimately just like went through it. Anyway, we get ourselves finally the invincibility power up. There's only one of these, so make sure you're paying attention. There's not like extra ones. And as you can tell, now that we're here, well, this whirlwind is activated so we can come back very easily to the end of the level. We'll deal with the invincibility and swimming through the acid lake in a little bit. As you can probably imagine, and if you might have even looked down there a little bit, well, there's good stuff down there. So let's get a few other things done. First and foremost, shall we? First and foremost, there's actually birds at the top of the level that I want to get knocked down as well, because, well, those are important, but there's also gems hiding all the way back here in this corner. Also, this is like a slightly remixed version of like the Sheila's Alp thing, or Sheila's Alp theme, not thing, theme. Use the correct term, please. And apparently that's exclusive to the version of the game that I've already had. Apparently, I forget if like, because there's apparently a lot of like a few slight version differences in between the main one and the greatest hits version, and they're pretty much all about music. So I don't know if this is actually the greatest hits version we're playing right now, or the non-greatest hits version, but I mean, this is the song I'm used to hearing when I'm in this level. But apparently, in other versions of this, in the other version of it, whichever other version of it exists, there is actually a version of this that has its own theme, or not actually a version of this. It's not a version of this at all. It's actually a straight up different theme. This level has its own theme that's not like a retreated version or a slightly remixed or with additional components version of anything else. It's actually a brand new version. Anyway, up here, other than this crab that's proceeding to murder my face in, is the other hunter minigame, which we'll have to come back to later. Significantly later. But anyway, let's start tackling the acid river here. So there's a bunch of gems and one egg that's hidden down here. And again, keep your eye on your timer because there's not like extensions or anything. You're going to have to eventually reset and go back. But just kind of take your time and try to get all of the gems, because those are important. And then I'll show you, at some point, I'll show you actually where that is. And also, I just straight up jumped off the cliff. Because if you're not paying attention as well, you will go right up to the section where Hunter is. But anyway, let's jump in again. There's a couple more hidey holes. This kind of does venture around the entire level. And by the way, anything that's like out front of the ship is not actually there. But anyway, here is another venture through the acid lake that actually I don't think was very fruitful, except for the fact that I actually jumped over to this section by the mouth here. We got a few gems there because I didn't go far enough to actually go find the egg. But that is the path you go to get the egg, by the way, is that you actually... Where am I going with this? Oh, am I just jumping out here? I guess I'm just jumping out here. So yeah, you can jump out here and go in through this way to get more gems. I hope I'm not missing like a ton of gems in the acid lake. That would suck. That would really suck. Anyway, we have jumped... Where are we now? We are basically back where we started. How fantastic. So to make it fairly easy for us to go get another rinse of this thing. Yeah, go for it. I think this is where I go for the egg, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's just because I missed the one gem down there. The one gem down there. And I actually also completely forgot to mention the roof, because it popped up in the ending cutscene, but you can now get on the roof of the ship, and there's a couple of things you can do on the roof of the ship. One of which is to actually... Did I complete... I saved that lake for... The egg hidden in the lake for later, apparently. Because this part is the one minigame we can do. If you go through this here, this is how you get to that submarine minigame that's in the little demo here. You can't swim in the lake quite yet. There is a power-up here for that. Submarine does not need it. But you got 2 rounds here. The second of which is obviously more annoying than the first. The first round, you just have to go and shoot down the subs. Now, if you go here, you'll get some locks on it. When you have all 3 locks, you get a homing missile that will basically always hit. Like, unless a wall gets in the way or something. Use it to your advantage. It's usually the easiest way of killing an enemy. Because they're pretty good at homing. They're actually really good at homing, to be fair. And also, one other thing that you should be aware of while you're in the sub, there's 2 chests at the bottom of the, this. You don't have a time limit on this, by the way. You can take all the time you need, and it probably will take you a bit of time, especially on the second section. There's 2 of those little hard-to-open chests down at the bottom of the Lakety Lake. And you want to make sure you get those while you're still in the sub. As you can tell, we're not actually absorbing any gems through the sub, so you do have to come down here for that. But Spyro can't open those, so you need to do that before you come down here. It's kind of important. And as you can tell, the subs do turn around and they do very dickish things. Luckily, your thing is actually usually very generous with how homing it is. Anyway, that is 5 out of 6. And it's about to get a little bit tougher, but also let's make sure we blast that open so that we can come down here for a little bit. And I got the second one, I think, in part 2 of this. Yeah, they definitely turn around and they make it a little bit difficult, but they're usually slow enough that you can manage to clip it through the wall and basically kill them anyway.
Well, I'll be darned.
And we got ourselves the first egg! Our first eggopotamus. Let us make sure we get this egg safely to wherever we need to go, and by which I mean it's going to hatch, and it's ethyl, because this leg is filled with ethanol. I don't even know if it's alcoholic or not, but regardless, it seems very, very poisonous. But there's a round 2, as I was starting to mention earlier, because, well, we get to go do this again. There are 7, but that is not the only change right now, is that they can drop mines, I guess, slightly dangerous mines. And if you get hit by one of them, you have to reset. I, luckily enough, did not have to bother with it, and as you can tell, the subs do move a little bit faster and a little bit more erratically. I mean, you have to be mostly facing them to lock on. And luckily, their things don't home very well. But this can take some time. And of course, you don't want to get hit, because if you get hit, well, you're screwed. You can try to snipe them, and it can work sometimes, but it's very difficult to have it work. Because when you do like snipe like that, you're just kind of firing them straight forward, essentially. And well, you know, you don't want to get hit by that. Because you don't want to also be right behind them, because then you're in range of their droppity drops. But I mean, you know, if you get a decent lock on them, just fire and turn away, because you don't want to be near them. Just try to get your lock, fire, move away, because there's a chance, as long as they're not like going behind a wall or something. And if you do get them behind a wall, it will cancel out the missile. It's not smart enough to completely avoid the walls. Don't fool yourself into thinking that it is. But yeah, just turn away. That's my advice, because you don't want to have to restart this minigame over and over and over again. And I've wasted more time out of my life than I would have liked to just trying to complete this minigame. But that is 5. It's going decently well so far. But I figured it would also be a good time to come down here eventually. No, not yet. Not yet. Okay. But let's get 6 and then let's go for it, because we need to make sure we don't forget to get the little chestity chest. And I got caught on the side of that shippy anyway. So let's just blast that open and we'll go get this guy. Now, this one is a very difficult one to get, because it kind of runs around in circles. But what I did here is I actually managed to actually snipe for once, and I just fired it at the exact perfect time. And we got it. We got it, fam. I can't believe I said that. We got it, guys. Oh god, what is wrong with me? Dolores. I've honestly got nothing. Let's go get some gems. I'll think of something not to lie. I'm giving up on that, at least for now. We got more gems to pop out of that randomly just by coming down here ourselves, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, just make sure you collect all the gems, because I think if you come back in here after you leave the level, well, everything is going to be reset. And you're going to have to do it all over again. And that's never a good thing. But yeah, and also, this one is not unlimited either, so make sure you, like, every time you do a lap or so, you come back here and regenerate your shield. Because you don't want to be caught in the lake forever without it, because, well, that's a bad thing. It's a very bad thing indeed. But you just want to make sure you make yourself enough nice couple of laps here so you can keep gathering gems. There's gems up top. There's gems in the tunnels, by the way. So don't forget those. Just try to gather as many of them as you can before you get up here. Or, well, before you leave. Not really get up here, but before you leave. Unless you're stupid like me and you just get caught in the mouth of the gateway, because, well, why wouldn't you? That's just the way I play, right? And I'm getting through this game okay. If you can play even an ounce better than I can, you should be fine. If you can talk better if you can talk an ounce better than I can, you should be a better Let's Player than I. This is fine. And of course I missed a gem in the tunnel. Why would I not miss a gem in the tunnel? Why would I be able to do that the first try? It's not like I'm perfect or anything. But yeah, let's go replenish our thing again, and we'll go track down the last couple of missing gems on the other thing. By the way, this took a while to do. This whole level, like, even without that hunter mission, like, when I originally started cutting this thing down, like, when I was bad, like, at game, like, this took, like, I think the runtime before I started cutting this was, like, 36 minutes or something ridiculous like that. So the fact that you're watching this and it's only, like, 20-something now means that I literally chopped out, like, a third of the episode. But because this level just takes absolutely forever. But I looked around a little bit more and I didn't see any more gems. So let's get out of here. We've got a couple more things to do before we leave. There are a few gems we can get in Hunter's area, but not that much. And also, yes, I did just run straight into the thing. All right, next order of business. There's a thing over there. And by a thing, I mean birds. Like 3 birds. Not free birds, 3 birds. Make sure you just murder their faces off. Yeah, because I jumped away and then I realized I was like, oh wait, there's a 3rd bird. This is what I was thinking of earlier. Beautiful. Also, there's a little cave over there, which you might have noticed before. And if you were smart like me, when you were on that cannon in the first place down there, you would have broken this open. But because I didn't realize it at the time, we had to go back down and do that. Boom. And then we can go glide to it. Got ourselves a nice couple of gems here. Easy. Alright, let's go see what's in the hunter thing real quick. Because that's important. Yep, there's another little sign here telling us hunter is nowhere to be found. And, well, there's only a few little bits here, but there's not even any skateboard spawner things. They don't appear yet, since hunter's not here. And there's no way for you to get up those ramps. So you're stuck here. Congratulations. Let's get out of here. No point in us sticking around. But one more thing that we have left to do. First off, I forgot some gems on the roof of the boat. Because I'm an idiot. Let's go get those. I'm not just an idiot, I'm a distracted idiot. To be fair. And then one more thing that we have to do as well. What we have to do is go for that lake. Because that's important, right? Or egg in the lake. We'll go for the lake. Good lord. Good lord. Yeah, let's go find that. So here's how you do it as well. You go up here, you get to the part where Hunter is. You can tell that this is kind of where where we just came from. Then you fly under this wall and just go up. Up here, there's a gem and an egg. Chad. He's Chad. That's fine. 96 eggs. That's all we can do for the moment. So let's get ourselves out of here, shall we? Now that we're done, let's go. And hey, look. Another cutscene. What a surprise.
Hello.
She took off her
Thought you
hood.
might be hungry.
What is this?
Thanks.
It's almost like
Did you bring any?
she's not going to be a bad guy anymore.
I'm sorry this happened, but
Yeah, no.
I tried to warn you.
I had
Yeah,
to
you're
help
seeing a
Spyro
little bit of
rescue the
surprising
others.
character development here.
You just don't understand.
Oh man, they hinted at this like Last World, and now it's like happening, like
The dragons used to
the
live
love
here?
interest.
Yes.
And now Hunter is
This
learning the
was
thing
their
that we learned
original
before,
home.
except for the fact
But
that
a long time ago,
this
the
happened.
sorceress banished them to the other side of the world. She didn't realize the dragons were the source of
Yeah,
all
okay.
magic.
so now we know that
Maybe
she
I
was
could
directly
convince the
involved in this,
dragons
she
to
being
come
the
back.
sorceress, which gives us more motive, which means that we can continue to ignore everything else about the story, because who cares? Except for the fact that she was tempted to get Hunter out and then just straight up left. But anyway, the adventure continues, and well, level complete.